Race BMX Show. Welcome back to the Race BMX Show. I'm leaving my normal category. As you guys know, I usually hit up 80s old school guys or people who now own companies, the welders, the riders, all you guys that I'm actually friends with. We get you on here all the time. But today we get to do something cool. We get to talk with Rick Thorne, okay? 90s champion legend, BMX, personality, MTV, pop culture, punk rock singing, stand-up comic is how I got to meet him. And in general, you're one of these people that's gone from BMX to everything. Is that the best way to look at it?
Yeah, yeah, you could say that. I mean, stuff just kind of was handed, I mean, not handed, but offered to me. Like when okay, let's say like when X Games hit, right?
Okay.
They didn't have anybody to host these shows. Before that, it was like Dan Cortez on MTV Sports, right? He had a small show, like a season or something. And so they didn't have anybody to, like, ESPN or MTV didn't have anybody to kind of help guide him within the sport.
Like in the way they take an old football player and they end up being a great commentator or a boxer and stuff, you actually stepped into that?
Well, so what's crazy is that I did all of it at the same time. Like, in other words, like riding hit and then the X Games hit. So right when that hit, I got hit up by MTV to host. So instead of saying, oh, I finally made it, I'm a host, I was like, nah, bro, like, I'm going to do both. So all those years of hosting, I was still competing in X Games.
Is that
which is like no one's never done that. It's always been after the fact.
Was that a grind mentality, an opportunity mentality, or you're just like, why don't I just say yes to everything? And were you announcing and competing in the exact same?
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes I'd even show up and do like a podcast for ESPN. I do a number of things.
Really?
Yeah, so what was crazy is that I did a show for ESPN for a year. It was an hour-long show, for 5 years, an hour-long show called X Today.
Okay. And
so we would go on location to these, we filmed like a weekend to get an hour-long show. So, but sometimes we'd film they didn't know where to go, so I was inviting, and this is the early days, I was inviting ESPN to my events, like the Vans Triple Crown, the Vans Warped Tour.
Oh, you were telling them to come to you?
Yeah, and say, okay, I know all these people on the Warped Tour, we can interview these people, so I kind of helped produce the show.
Dude.
So then I was riding, doing demos.
This is pre-podcast?
Well, yeah, but then what happened, what happened with that was then ESPN decided they wanted to do radio, and so since I did Winter X Games, Summer X Games, and my own show, and a number of other things for them, they said, we want you to do radio. So then I worked at ABC.
Yeah, because how many people on earth are qualified to talk on radio about BMX?
Well, it was about everything.
And be capable. Oh, you did everything?
I did everything. I did BMX, skate. Like, that was my show, was like all sports.
Okay.
And music.
All X sports?
Yeah, and then music and actors and all kinds of different stuff. Because at that time, people were like really interested in what we were doing.
Okay, got it. Pop culture.
Yeah. So I mean, I interviewed Vin Diesel for. He came out to see the X Culture before Triple X.
Oh, get out! Did you put him on a bike
at the Philly X Games?
Right.
And he goes, "I like you," and that's how I got in the movie Triple X.
Really?
He put me in it.
Just from personality?
Just because I interviewed him, he goes, "I like you," and I was like, "Cool." Like. And that's how, and then I realized, oh, Tony Hawk's in it, Mike Vallely's in it. I was like, oh, what a trip. Matt Hoffman, those guys have already been casted.
Did you know them already? Were they already friends, or did you start becoming friends with them there?
No, I knew them all, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've been friends with Matt since like 87.
It's like a super intertwined community, like you guys have been on the road for years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, so the radio thing, you brought up podcasting, is like, and then I did ABC Radio, and it was on like KLS, our show was, but they didn't know where to put it. So then
What was it called?
It was called ESPN Action Sports Radio.
Okay, got it.
And then they changed it to EXPN because that became their website.
Because that's super cool.
Action Sports Radio. And that was the podcast I did for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So the way I did a podcast would be like, live on an MP3 player.
So if you have to tell somebody now who or what you are, do you give that whole list, or you just say...
I send them my EPK.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but like if you met me on the street and I didn't know you, would you be like, and I'm like, where do I know you from? Would you be like BMX and comedy and punk rock?
No, I just usually say, oh, you might see me riding or something.
Okay.
Half the time I just mess with people. The other day someone asked me if I was Twitch.
What? Who's Twitch?
Rob, you know Twitch?
Yeah.
Someone goes, I pull up to get a coffee and they're like, hey Twitch, you sign this? And I get it all the time, and I was like, and I wanted to be like, I always go, hey man, wrong guy, and I go, yeah, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
So I signed it.
You're like, hey dude, I'm
like,
famous.
You're the best. I know they're gonna sell it because that's what these dudes do. And they're like, oh, because they wanted to sign a bunch of shit. So I'm like, yeah, stay rad, Twitch.
Yeah, well, that's perfect. De Niro and Pacino get mistaken for each other all the time. So Twitch is your...
Do you think those guys compete with each other?
I think they're so old and successful and happy with their own lives that they don't have to compete with anybody but themselves. And they're probably not even doing that anymore. They're just chilling out.
Because this seems odd that they both got kids at the same time almost. Isn't that weird?
I mean,
Weird energy.
they've always had similar destinies, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
They've been linked together for years. Hey, since I have you here on Race BMX Show, before we talk about more stuff, you know, I ride around on the 26s and the 29s in those small and big groups and stuff.
Yep.
And, like, that's where, for me, when I got back from Australia, long, boring story short, I'm like, I need a new BMX bike. Like, I had a 20, but, like, I wasn't, like, you continuing riding. So the bigger ones were easier and chiller, and I could get more done and see the cities without being in a car and without having to walk. And now that's a huge thing. Does that cross over into your world at all? Would you even want a BMX cruiser just to ride around on?
Oh, you said the bigger bikes?
Yeah, the big bikes, the 26s and the 29s.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy? I do a 10-mile ride pretty much almost every day on my BMX. I've been doing it since I've been a kid, and I always go ride on the street. That's why when I come here to Brooklyn Projects, it's kind of on my route. So that's why I come here and ride and say hi to everyone. But like, I've always rode on the street, and I've always just pedaled down the street.
That's how I think we all start.
Yeah.
It really just starts going from one location to another.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it would be cool to have a bigger bike to ride. But I think I'd probably still be riding my 20-inch. And you know why? Because I feel like when I ride that, the more I'm on my bike, and the more control I have when it comes to doing tricks and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, I mean, not to say that I wouldn't go out and ride with you guys on the bigger bikes.
But there's guys out there on 20s. Some of them are out there on like 1980s.
I did a ride with JT in Vegas,
Okay.
and I took my 20-inch.
Oh, really?
And everybody's like, "You're out of your mind," and I was like, "I got my ass kicked though. Just 20 miles we were riding, you know."
Yeah, it is ass kicking.
But it's like
What are you doing stuff along the way and grinding and wearing yourself out?
fives and yeah, and shit. But I think what you guys are doing is cool. I think like when we grew up, we were riding big groups, but not like they are today. Big group for us was like 25, 30 kids. And back in the 80s, if you saw 25 or 30 kids on bikes, the cops instantly stopped you.
Well, we had a local dirt lot behind the high school where everybody would meet to ride, and that could get up into the over 50s and stuff on the right weekend. And it was like, it was all of us that weren't making it to the places you were at. It was still so fun, though.
Yeah, and listen, man, I'm going to say, I didn't mean that by any disrespect.
Oh, no, I wasn't taking that.
Why I would ride a 20-inch, it's just because...
Oh, there's lots of 20s out there.
I'm just so conditioned to riding my bike and like being on, so to stay dialed and stay in shape. And to be quite honest with you, the older you get, you have to stay in shape even more. And you have to for doing tricks and stuff, like to stay consistent, or you'll lose stuff. So like, you know, that's why it's always good to come here and stay consistent on tricks so you can take them other places. But that's why I always feel like the more
you're always in the gym in a sense. You never
Yeah.
let yourself. You're always in fight condition, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever let yourself get worn out and then had some obligations where you needed to be flying through the air and be like, oh, I shouldn't have been that way last night, or I'm sick today? Or,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude. I toured for like maybe 25 years straight, competing in shows and stuff, and then I stopped to raise my kids.
Right.
Because I raised my kids single, by myself. I've been single, and so now that my kids are older, I'm ready to go back on the road. But for those years, it's very demanding. Like imagine this: you go back before X Games. Okay, me, Matt Hoffman, Dennis McCoy, Dave Mara. We would do, say, the Texas State Fair. State Fair shows were the shit back in the day.
Okay.
That's the only way you could make money
and
bikes to survive without going back to busting tables. That's what I did before riding bikes. I bust tables.
You went straight from busting tables to your bike?
No, not really necessarily straight, but I picked a job that I could leave. It's a restaurant, leave for 2 weeks, come back.
I've done it. I've done that.
So once I was able to stop busting tables, I was at the Olive Garden. Dude, it's crazy. I was able to do these shows. So imagine if you're doing 24 days at a state fair, 4 shows a day. That's 96 shows. So you're there all a freaking day, and you're only making $100 a day.
Were you guys getting hurt from being worn out? Or
yeah,
not?
absolutely.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
And you become robotic.
Right.
Like, oh, exo, can. Look, things you start to do. You have to mix it up, otherwise you just become this robot.
All right. It's like what comics do when they go on cruise ships.
I bet, huh?
Yeah, they just become a robot and like
they're reading the lines
flavor.
like ha ha ha. Yeah.
This is actually, I know this from his act, not in real life, but I think it's a good topic for right this second. your son is a football player, right?
Yeah.
And even though it's part of his joke, and he points out how ridiculous it is, it's so funny because like you picture an American football family, and then they end up with like you per se.
Oh,
you know,
dude,
and
yeah.
they're like, dude, can't you just put on some shoulder pads? Like, I'm gonna go ride my bike, and now you're that bike guy with all the tats, and still an X Games person and a counterculture, and you got a football kid.
And I have to be like, learn the game. And and the funny thing is, I love football now through him.
Right.
But the sport, but also too, where he wants to go. There's a lot of positioning, and there's a lot of like things you have to know that you want to do in order for your kid to like reach that level, to get to these trainers and these, you know what I mean? It's like half of my day revolves around him training.
Right.
Trainers.
Well, that you can relate to, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally. But I had to. At first, I
were you like nervous around the other dads in case you like said some term from the wrong situation?
No, not too much. But I think it was kind of like sometimes people might not take me serious because the way I dress, the way I carry myself. But I was like, whatever. My son's a beast.
Okay.
You know
think
what I mean?
they didn't? Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up playing football, and some of these dads are really, no disrespect, but they're really obsessed with their children, of what they can get out of the sport. Like I didn't get involved with riding just what I can get out of it. I
hear you.
What I wanted out of it was to feel good about myself.
Yeah, maybe there's some kid playing right now though that just happened to stumble into football and find out he gets to go to college and become a pro because of it. So that would be your story.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, you might be getting ready to bust tables.
But some of these parents are really obsessed with the fact of like they think that just because their kid gets a scholarship through sports, their kid's going to be happy. Cool,
Oh, wow.
But you have to have fun along the way. You know what I mean? So I'm the dad that's supportive dad, and not the dad that like gets mad if he drops a ball.
You're not like, you need to go shave your head and get tattoos and get on a bike and act like...
Yeah, like I would. He does it because he feels good about himself, and then that's the whole point of life.
Yeah.
There's no point of it if you don't.
Basically, when you find something that you love and you're good at, go down that path.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
It's like we do with comedy. Like you want to get into comedy because I like making people laugh, and I'm like being the center of attention, and I like to entertain. I think every comic's that way.
Hell yeah.
And so you're looking for laughs. That's why you do it. You're not doing it to be like, what can I get out of comedy? It's like, that's not why I got involved with it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking...
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think everything should be compared to drugs. That's stupid nowadays, but it does get me all high, and like I can feel all this like craziness in my head and just be making people laugh.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like a sport. That's
it's a good feeling, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Of your singing and stand-up comedy, which one do you get the closest adrenaline rush to that you get when you're on your bike?
Man, that's hard.
And then we'll shut down because we've probably done like 30 minutes and stuff, right?
I don't know. He might check his phone. Is that how long these podcasts usually are?
Well,
30 minutes?
No, I mean I can turn them into 2 and stuff, but then the second one never gets as much views as the first one.
Got it.
Because it's like a part 2. What are we at?
13.
Oh, get out, man.
We cover a lot of
No, dude, we also did the bike ride. No, we can go for a while then.
So wait, what did you ask me just now?
Oh, which one of this, your new side things, like hosting and also announcer sounds awesome. Hosting, announcing, singing, punk, comedy. What gives you the most adrenaline rush in comparison to when you were like at your highest of BMX? Like, where are you getting your adrenaline from now? Or is it a little bit of all of them?
Kind of all of it in a weird way. Like music's a different kind of expression because the type of music I play that I sing is like it's punk, and it's like it's aggressive, but it takes a lot more energy. It takes a lot more to perform,
Right.
at that level compared to comedy, because I'm not screaming and stuff. I'm not like Sam Kinison,
Right.
maybe I should be that way, but like.
Do your punk in the comedy.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
I get annoyed.
Just try it 4 times where nobody can see you. Like go to some faraway show. Yeah, try it 4 times. See what happens.
But I think they kind of all like, and you said hosting too, like, and interviewing and stuff like that. It's just, I think what gives me the first out of all of it, is probably still bike riding.
Okay.
As far as like that sense of like, yeah. And then when I do a good comedy set, I'm like, yeah. But it's a different feeling because it's not a physical.
Mental.
It's more. This is what I always say, and I treat them all the same. Singing is more kind of like an emotional expression.
Okay.
Because you're singing and you're opening yourself up, right?
Oh, you get to tell some stories that maybe have been bothering you or you're mad about it.
Or just singing. You know, you're expressing yourself.
All right.
Yeah, right.
I can't sing, so I.
Okay, so then writing was more kind of a physical expression.
Okay.
Because it's all about your physical, like, you know, your voice is your tricks, and you're like, it's a physical feeling. Singing is more of emotional. Comedy is more of kind of like a satisfying feeling of
Are
like
you writing your own
acceptance.
lyrics and your own? I know you're writing your own stand-up. Are you writing your own lyrics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like comedy's like I never thought of it, but like not acceptance, but kind of like, you know, like making people laugh and making them feel good. That makes you, you know how that feeling feels. It feels good.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feeling, but I still treat it the same as writing. They're all kind of just different feelings, but it's kind of the same. I don't even know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. But I was just wondering which one that afterwards you're like, I got to go out now, or I can't sleep.
Well, everything I do, because I've been writing for 40 years, or whatever, I compare to bike riding. Like, you have a shit comedy set. Oh shit! You learn from it. I slammed riding. I learned from it.
Do you ever do something while riding that a normal human couldn't even come close to doing, and then not even feel a rush anymore, or do you still always get the rush?
You get the rush, but you can't get lazy. Because when you get lazy, that's when you get fucked. You know,
Yeah, like overconfident, like.
Or you don't respect it.
Have you ever had a moment like that in your life?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What happened?
Oh, look, dude, this is crazy. I don't know if you can see a scar across the top of my head.
I can.
Okay, I hit the corner of a loading dock right here, and I broke my palate because I wasn't respecting what I was doing. I didn't take it. It's crazy. I jumped up on this wall, and the wall was like maybe this wide. Okay.
And what, do you have that like mentality of like, I'm super fucking cool?
No, my mind was somewhere else.
Oh, you were thinking about other stuff?
Yeah, I was fighting with my first ex-wife. I wasn't respecting what I was doing.
Okay.
I was being cocky, and so I jumped up on this wall, and then the sidewalk went down, so the wall got higher, right? So sort of like this, right? And then at the end of this wall, which is the top of it's this wide, is an alley and then a loading dock. And my bright idea was to jump on the wall, ride, and transfer.
Uh-huh.
And what happened when I went to jump over, you know how you kind of got to lift your front wheel to hop? My front wheel dropped, and then I went, bam.
Oh.
And check this story out. I broke my palate, I bit down, and I was like, oh shit. I felt my whole mouth moving up and down. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And all this fluid was leaking down the back of my throat.
Dude.
So I was like, it tasted like death, bro. And
Dude,
I was
it
like,
sounds fucking horrible, dude.
Here's the end result. I had a hairline crack and a break, so I have a screw here
Oh my god.
and a plate, and then it came down and broke my palate. So they lifted my face. I got screws and plates right here. They cut my head from ear to ear, pulled my skin down, took fat from my stomach to stop a leak. I had tracheotomy, I had double vision, I lost all sense of taste and smell.
Dude.
3 months later, I went to the X Games, got 7th place.
Happy ending, dude. That's crazy. Though.
And the point of the story is, it's
What did they
mind
tell you?
over matter.
Oh, I guess so, dude.
You got to be positive,
Especially
bro.
since they looked at the inside of your mind from the outside.
I used to be way hotter. All right, I used to look more like Johnny Depp. Or, you know?
Oh, you lost a few look levels on that
they lifted my
one?
face and fucked me all up.
All right, maybe they took some looks away so you could concentrate on more important things than girls, you know? Or however many ex-wives you were arguing with before you did that.
1, 2, or 3.
You've had 3 ex-wives? Wow, dude.
3 strikes and you're out.
I think you're out on every one of those when it comes to...
I'm single for life, dude. I'm never getting married again. I got my kids, and then I'll switch for grandkids, and I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to point out that saying I'm single for life after having been married 3 times holds very little validity.
I'm single for life.
I'm single for life. I'm the one that got married after knowing a girl for 6 months, and then we were broken up after another 6 months, and never else got married besides that.
Just one time?
That one was one time. Yeah, no, I've never had a relationship that made it past 3 years. How long did your marriages last or not last?
First one was a year, second one was like 5, and the last one was like 9.
Okay. So
I got better.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yo, the next one could be forever, man.
Yeah.
The 4th one's a charm. That's what.
If Lady Gaga calls me, I already got a plan. We're gonna have a baby, Goo Goo Gaga. It's gonna be sick.
No, dude, I respect
Come
that.
on, what do you mean?
No, I'm with you.
Lady Gaga, if you're listening, hit me up, man. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
We go ride bikes, go to bike ride. What's up?
If you saw me get bummed when you said that, it's because I regret that you beat me to putting that offer out to Lady Gaga, and now I feel like I can't jump in.
You can't. I called it out. It's mine. You're mine.
Her clip keeps coming on in that one movie, and I'm like, Lady Gaga is so hot.
She is.
Yeah.
She's talented. Watch, our phone's gonna pop up next to like Lady Gaga video. It's gonna be Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Anybody who sees this portion of the show on Instagram, please forward it to Lady Gaga.
Yeah, we'll see a Lady Gaga popped up on my Instagram when I first opened it.
And also, just to make fun of us.
Oh, Lady Gaga.
Oh wow, you really are following her.
Yeah, that's her. No, that's my buddy Raw. Close, but.
Well, I know Lady Gaga's looking for a guy who has buddies named Ross, so this is gonna work out.
Listen, this phone shit does work though.
What?
I was listening. Last night I was at the Comedy Store, and I was sitting up top with my buddy Danny, and they introduced Whitney Cummings, and then I was during her set, and then after her set I opened my phone, the first person on my Instagram was her.
Really?
And I go to Danny, I go, see how your phone's listening? That's crazy.
I mean, it is crazy.
Pretty crazy.
And I'm not really up to no good on any high level, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm not, but like, yeah, it's crazy. But it's starting to help sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could go either way. We're trapped into it. There's no way out.
You ever feel like your phone's connected to your brain? You don't have to say something, it just pops up.
Well, dude, you just told us that they opened up your head. I mean, your phone actually could be connected to your brain. That could have gone down while you were
They could have put a chip in there.
I'm still good. Well, I did have a cut here once. I think I'm good. I don't think I have a chip. But I do think a girl might have left one of those little tiny cameras in my apartment to keep an eye on me. She as much said so, but I'm afraid to ask.
You gotta quit messing with the psychos, bro. Okay, that's a single life in Hollywood.
Yeah, see, I should get married 3 times. This is stupid.
Oh my gosh, don't mess with it. Listen, don't mess with anybody that's been married 3 times. Oh wait,
that's you.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Okay, so
well, unless you're Lady Gaga. All right, anyways.
If you what do you want to have happen next? You want to be doing a comedy tour, or you want to be doing a bike tour, or you want to be doing a punk rock tour?
All of it.
Like
here's the deal about comedy.
Or a miniature festival with all 3.
Well, here's the deal with comedy. If I tour, when I tour comedy, it's a night. You got all day.
I love it. I love nighttime, and I love being able to see new places during the day.
Exactly, it's awesome.
Do you bring your bike?
Absolutely.
Same.
So when I tour with my band, I always take my bike.
Right.
Because music's at night. So then we ride during the day. I did tour in England for 3 weeks, and so I rode before every show. Going
You
to
rode your
scenes.
BMX bike around England?
Yeah, all the skate parks and shit, and then we were playing all the clubs. So I link up with all the bike, because that's a universal thing about, and you probably get it with bike
Yeah, you
life.
can just meet somebody out there and ride bikes.
It's like, I was like, yo, I'm in town, and the locals go where they go and do their thing, and you're their guests, and like, it's badass.
Well, my favorite part is obviously not the skate parks. I like riding around all different cities on my bike, because like, you can't see them fast enough. You know when you're a little kid and you're walking with grandparents and you're like, I need to see this whole place.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the car, you're like, this sucks. But on the bike, dude, I've seen like 30 American cities on my bike.
That's badass.
Yeah. Did you ride through the ones in Europe, or do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What was your favorite city to ride a BMX bike through, or favorite cities? Like, were you in London, Manchester?
Australia was good. I mean, like, I don't know, man. It depends. Paris is cool. I remember we went riding to Paris.
Dude, you rode your bike through Paris?
Me, Cab, and McCoy. We were there for Vans. We did a demo. But we try to like just go, ride everywhere when you go. Like,
yeah.
We rode in China, rode in Korea,
dude.
Rode in Japan.
Get out.
I got this tattoo in Japan. I was riding around. It's the koi fish. Not to be like water, but the koi fish here.
Right.
And it turns out, if you've ever been to Japan, they don't really have much English reference anywhere.
Okay.
It's not. Other places people.
I have not been to Japan.
It's not. It's almost like you go to some countries and they'll say maybe people can talk a little bit of English or understand English. Not in Japan, and nothing's really written to where you're like you gotta remember where you're going.
Right.
You write it down and go okay. And I might not know how to pronounce it.
What year was this though? Because now there's the translation phone app.
Oh, that's true. This was back in like maybe 2000.
Yeah, that would slow things down. Yeah, they're probably they're up to date. Like we're the most important, but they probably have their own way to translate.
But it was cool, bro. I remember I veered off by myself, and then I got on the train and ended up at this tattoo shop. This dude tattooed me. It turns out he's good friends with my buddy that I see him. He lives in LA.
Get out! You had a small world moment with this dude tattooing
in
Paris.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Have you ever gone the wrong way in the traffic on a bike by mistake because you're used to American traffic?
Yeah, but I always ride against traffic anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I want to see if I'm going to get hit, I want to see what's going to hit me.
I can see that. That's like a actual rule from the old days.
Isn't that the old days, right?
Yeah, but for me, it's like, I don't know. It makes me more tense.
Yeah. I do that. I ride, because behind me, I just feel like someone's going to clip my bars and I'm not going to see him or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm always worried about getting clipped, but
Do you guys have
Well-
accidents by cars hitting you guys? You're such a big crowd.
Well, that's one thing, because you and I were talking about it. Sometimes we're groups of 5 to 14. Then we kind of don't obey the rules, but we stick together and kind of obey the rules depending on the circumstances. But there's like a group of us, so we're safe. We're as big as a car put together, or 2 cars. Cars stay away from us. When it's a giant group, unless there's some jerk or some aggravation, the cars just have to wait for us, and there's so many people that it becomes a unregistered parade, and they just stop for us.
Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's in between areas, or when groups split up and some car gets in the middle, and then it's a person who has a fuck you attitude, and maybe a rider does. Like, yeah, then things get
Are there
messy.
people that go on those rides that cause trouble and hit cars? I've seen that.
I mean, not on the rides I'm on, but like most of the rides that I go on don't cross over, and there are people that are like that, but eventually
They're on the ride to cause trouble rather than to ride.
yeah, but they don't really last because the community unites and kind of asks them not to be around, you know, and then they find each other, and there's some wild banshee crew somewhere.
Didn't some girl recently die? She got hit, didn't she?
You talking about Cakes?
Is that who?
Is that?
It's recent, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How do you know Cakes?
I don't know her, but I know through JT because I write for JT
Oh,
Racing, and I follow a good amount of guys that do bike life, and I saw a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, she was
That's
like,
sad.
and she wasn't just like one of the people in the group. She was like almost everybody's favorite.
Wow, that sucks.
And then, yeah,
Does that happen a lot?
no, not
No,
a lot.
no.
Yeah, no.
No, that's crazy.
It would
man.
be over if that happened.
No, I'm
a
just
lot.
saying, maybe not death, but just by getting hit or anything.
More people injure themselves than get injured by an outside person.
Yeah, I got it.
And and also when the ride's all together, that kind of happened outside the ride a little bit on the break and stuff.
Oh, it did?
And like, yeah.
Yeah, because when you're in a big group, it's like when I did the one in Vegas, I mean, cops were escorting and just blocking the streets, and it's crazy.
Well, sometimes when we're in a big group, it's awesome, and people are honking and cheering, and like, we kind of block the intersection. Sometimes the police chip in. Like, ultimately, the safest thing is to stay together. And yeah, we're probably ruining one person's day by 7 to 15 minutes. But at the same time, when are you ever sitting in your car and you get to watch 300 bikes roll by? Like,
Yeah.
whip out your phone, put it on Instagram.
Anyone ever get road rage with you guys?
Get
out of the way!
Well, over the course of all the years, there's definitely been like people that have got road raged, but most of the guys that we ride, not most, but the majority of the guys that are at the core of handling situations like that are like poised, intellectual, smart guys who know how to talk to people and desensitize to situations. There's like, Eric, his brother-in-law Omar's getting good at handling that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of guys amongst the crowd. Downhill Dad Jason is great talking to anybody. So, it's just like any community. There's a few idiots along for the ride, and then there's a couple of people who know how to solve problems along as well.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're always, obviously, I've been telling you, come out and ride with us whenever,
Yeah.
I know you have to go to football practice a lot now, and you've left BMX behind. And,
Football. Yeah, I'm a coach.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're going to be a football.
I'm a scout, actually.
Are you going to start showing up in football jerseys and stuff?
I got a Chiefs tattoo on my head.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, you're way farther along than you've been letting on, man. You're
Yeah.
acting like you're not a football guy.
Listen, I drove by the Chiefs Stadium I grew up in Kansas City almost every day of my life because we had to pass it to go home.
So it's
Where
like
we
a
lived.
logo that represents the entire city to you as well.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's the bond I have with my son. And it's like, when I was raised, our dad left, me and my sister. And so I was little and never came back. And so I always told myself, nobody gets left behind. And that's why I'm really super tight and close to my kids. So to have that bond with my son, that's what that's more about.
No, that's great.
You know
You
what I
went
mean?
the right
It's like-
direction with
Yeah,
that.
broke the cycle.
Yeah.
And be like, nah, I know and support what you, because what's funny is people get upset when they say, oh, does your son ride? And I say no, and they go, ooh, like they're let down. I was like, bro, I'm
Yeah,
not.
they're like, sorry, bro.
Like I did it. I did riding, okay, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I was like, I pursued that dream and I lived that, and therefore I'm not going to push it on you. And maybe sometimes parents, if they tried something and they wanted it,
Yeah, why push anything?
they're
on
going to
anyone?
push their kid.
That's how things break.
Right. And so he found that He's done all the sports.
He's like a BMX kid, and he's like with his friends. He's like, I don't know how to tell my dad I love football. I even like that helmet better than my full face bike helmet.
Talk to him. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, do you think he's gonna be mad? They're like,
No.
no, dads love that. Then they look at you like, I don't know.
No, he found that, dude. He did all the sports, everything, like soccer, basketball.
Is he a bigger guy than you?
Yeah, he's about 5 inches tall. He's 14.
Wow.
He's pretty big.
He's already 5 inches taller than you. He's more
14.
a football size guy than you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd you do, give him more
Long
milk?
arms.
Every generation gets bigger, I've noticed.
I'm a runt, though. Everyone in my family was big.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I'm starting to ask my mom, like, what did the mailman look like?
Dude, just do a 23andMe.
Okay.
Do a 23andMe, you'll find out for sure.
What is that?
The thing where everybody sends in a sample to find out their heritage, but it'll tell you all the other people whose heritage has been put on there. So you'll even know about cousins you didn't know about if their heritage is in 23andMe.
Oh, wow.
People actually find out that their parents aren't their parents sometimes and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not putting that on you, but I'm letting you.
I mean, it's all good.
No, but you can find out.
23andMe is what it's called?
I believe I'm saying it right. Is that right?
Not Ancestry.com, is that the same
Yeah, I do that one too. Yeah.
How do you know they're legit, though? Are they making some shit up?
They're also
What do they
great
make
for
up? They're like this.
the dating sites.
What do you want to say about this guy? All right, let's say,
I mean,
let's say his cousin was,
there's corruption
Bonnie and Clyde.
everywhere.
Okay, it was Clyde. Okay, hold on.
Dude,
They're making it up.
if I found out that I was Clyde's grandson, I'd be like, that explains 1/4 of my life. But also, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they could lie. There's corruption everywhere.
I
But
know. I'm just having fun. What if they were to lie and say, you're of a long history of just
dude,
knuckleheads.
maybe Rip Thorne. Well, we can tell that just by looking at you. I don't need to send any blood samples. I could do that without a degree.
Your grandfather drove a cab, your aunt was a truck driver, your sister was a waitress. Oh wait, that was my life.
No, your grandfather drove a cab.
He did.
Until he blew it. No.
No, he got truck drivers, cab drivers, restaurant workers.
Well, you know,
that's my
every
my
generation is supposed to do better than the last, and you did it somehow on BMX bikes.
Somehow.
So that was awesome, and obviously personality and skill and intellect, and it sounds like you have a kid that's going to be a better version of you than yourself. So.
Yeah, my daughter's a beast lacrosse player.
Oh yeah, we should bring her up before we get out of here.
She's like, she got voted the best. I don't really talk about my kids so much, but she got award for best defensive player last year, and then she's going in this year varsity, killing it.
Dude.
You know, they got athlete kids.
So you had to learn football and lacrosse, walking in there looking like that.
Bro, lacrosse is, dude.
That's hardcore, more hardcore than
Imagine
football.
me-
I think your daughter's tougher than your son.
Listen, she is. Listen, babies learning how to swim as babies,
Right?
doing the circle with the other moms, fully tattooed in the pool with them. Wheels on the bus go round and round, and you're doing circles, and the mom's just looking at you like you're nuts. I had to teach my kids how to swim. We had a pool. I don't want to drown. I did all that. I did it all. All of it through the years, all of it. So I was always the oddball tattoo dude, but then when people get to know you, they're like, this is kind of cool.
Well, I know a lot of
You know what I mean?
tattooed oddballs at this point, and just like everything else in society, that's changed, and now it's totally normal. Well, I don't want to say totally normal, but now it's a part of culture that is recognized.
Yeah, it was just something about a movie skit. You picture like a circle.
Oh yeah, that's why I keep
circle of
bringing it up
Karens
now.
and then me, like, hey.
Yeah, no, I'm picturing you. I'm picturing you at lacrosse, you know,
Oh man.
looking like that in a tank top, you know, rooting for your kid. You
But
know?
you'd be surprised. Some of these parents, they kind of they look at me as like I'm their way to like kind of tell me like they're crazy too. Like shit. Like I remember used to do the car door at my daughter's school.
Right.
My son's school. Like, hey, what's up? You know, and then moms would be like, hey, good morning. It's time to go get some wine. Like they tell me like their dark side because they see me and they think like I'm this dude.
She's like,
So
hey,
I see
Rick,
this
just
dark
want
side of
you
these
to know.
people come out and without me even asking.
Here's what she's trying to tell you. Inside, I'm covered with tattoos also.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what she's trying to tell
I
you.
feel on the inside. Maybe she identifies as a tattoo artist.
Not an artist. She identifies as you. You're doing all the things
Can you-
that she wished she'd done.
This is an important question, Josh. If you don't have tattoos, can you identify as a person that has tattoos?
No.
Why not? You can identify with whatever you want to identify as nowadays.
Tattoos are a thing. They actually have to be on you.
Okay.
I mean, you can draw some stuff on with a Sharpie and take some practice tattoos until you get used to it and decide whether that's a decision you really want to make in your life or not.
Well, I was hanging out with the skaters, and I was like, I identify as a skater, so I should be able to ride here.
On your bike?
Yeah.
Yes. What did you
I
do that
identify.
at Venice?
No, I did that at Tony's.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go do that at Venice Skate Park, and then you'll see how many skateboards your head can withstand
Venice.
for identifying as a skateboarder.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Nah.
I don't think that would really happen. I'm being drama.
No.
Flexible.
Venice is cool.
Yeah, but
that's their spot. So.
as a BMXer, even though I'm not the same kind of BMXer as you, I ask of you to come back and identify as a trick riding 20-inch BMX rider. You're not a skateboarder, all right? You do skateboard when you want to, but you're a BMXer, and that was the thing that led to everything else. So don't forget that part, right?
I won't. I'm just having fun. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm just being dramatic and fake inspirational. No, real inspirational. I think we should wrap it up on that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you have anything particular important you want to promote or say to the world before we shut down?
You know what? Okay, I don't want to give a cheesy speech, but like
You can give a cheesy speech.
don't give up, stay rad. Follow my band, Good Guys in Black. Follow me on Instagram, Rick Thorne. Come out to our comedy shows. If there's anything you want to do in life, just do it. But you got to put in the work.
Yes, you have to put in the work.
I'm not trying to, yeah. There's one thing.
I learned that late.
Okay, on Instagram, I find myself to be a pretty positive person, but I have my moments, and sometimes I talk positivity because maybe I lack positivity at that moment, and I want to like remind myself. But I'm kind of overseeing these motivational speakers on like Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And they're just like telling you what you need to do, but it's like, well, what's your resume?
Now here's the thing.
You read something that says don't give up, and now you tell me don't give up. We already know don't give up.
No, 4 hours later they gave up and they're crying off of Instagram. I've given up and I just posted a thing that said don't give up. What if you find out?
I didn't get the number of likes I think I'm going to give up.
Then later that night they're like, even if you give up it only has to be for a few minutes. Just get back on with a new meme and you'll be all right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so listen, kids, don't give up. Stick with it. You want to do something good? I'll tell you right now, nothing's handed to you. Just get out there and get busy.
That was straight up scared.
How many likes did I get? I'm gonna give up. I only got 20 likes.
That's bad for the amount of followers you have. If I got 20 likes, it would be a lot.
Whatever.
I don't know. One more joke.
Thanks, dude.
I was trying to make it worse.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate you.
Yo, I got you. I'm so glad you were here, Rick. Come see
Let's
either
go
or
on your
both
ride,
comedy
bro.
shows and the Dime.
Come to the Dime.
To the Dime a lot on Tuesday, and it's like a real just get down, chill show. All right?
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Stay rad.